This is my favorite park in DC. It's located on 16th Street in Northwest. Let me tell you, it's a great park. It's in the neoclassical design. Don't know what that means. Oh, this is what they call it. Some people call it this. Some people call it this. It doesn't matter what you call it. I call it the park because I live a block away from it. It's great. Look at all this seating, all this open area. This is the upper side, which is in the French Baroque style. Again, don't know what that means. You can go there and share a meal, leave it out for me to film if you want. Fall asleep on those benches, seen a lot of that. You can just hang out in the park and picnic on the grass. So many dogs pee in this grass. In the mornings, they just let their dogs run free. It's crazy. And there's going to be a hard cut here. These are the bathrooms. No park review would be complete without one. They're bad. I would say don't. If you need to use the bathroom at this park, don't. Anyway, moving on. The upper part of the park. There's this very prominent statue of Joan of Arc on a horse. And it's awesome. She's holding a sword, which we'll get to. But it's the only statue of a woman riding a horse in all of DC. It was donated by France. The Society of the French Women donated it in 1923, and it was to commemorate the women's right to vote, which they got in 1920. If you keep looking, I'll film a sign that you can't read, and it talks about the other art in the park, and it pretty much talks about how it gets vandalized all the time, which is not great. As I said earlier, they stole Joan of Arc's sword at one point. There's a statue of Serenity, and she is a solid block of marble. And it's cool, but then you look a little closer, and there's a huge crack going through it. She's missing a couple toes. Someone stole her nose. Sad, she can't smell. But she looks out at a cypress tree, the state tree of Louisiana, and you talk about it. And she's got a good life, I think. There's also these archways. I don't know what they're like. They're these green archways, and they're meant to frame the Washington Monument, which you can't really see in these pictures. I get a little closer, and you can kind of see it. A lot of people walk through them. Anyway, this is Joan of Arc again. We're going to move down to the lower part of the park now, which is a completely different style. It's the Italian Renaissance style. Again, don't know what that means, but there's a lot of exposed aggregate concrete everywhere. And usually I don't like that design, but here I like it. The facade of gravel, it looks nice. All these nice archways, and there's a guy reading there. And we're going to move down. This is perhaps the most impressive part of the park. It's supposed to be a cascading fountain. Never ever seen any water in here though. Maybe one day it'll be back. It looks beautiful. I would love to see it with water. Also in the middle, there's this like kind of meadow area with some trees. I like to sit down and read a book there. Don't do that because I won't have a tree to read next to. Oh, this is Dante. There's a statue of him. He looks really evil. I think he was like an Italian. Well, he was an Italian poet. He wrote the Inferno. I didn't read it. I think he's an arsonist. He's cool. He looks scary. And this is the fountain from below, down in like the plaza area. One time I saw a shoe in there. That was a little freaky. Those boys like to skateboard in there. There's always people skateboarding. It's kind of cool. There's a girl skateboarding ad that I have a photo of somewhere. Pretty cool. And if we keep on moving on, there's like a reflecting pool kind of down here. Never been filled with water. Could not tell you what it looks like with water. Would probably be beautiful. There's a lot of weeds that grow in it, as you can see here. There's also this statue of James Buchanan, which is interesting. The only one to ever exist of him. Maybe telling, maybe not. I don't know. And anyway, this is just like the plaza down here. It's nice. It's very sunny, way different than up top where it's like a lot more tree cover. You can sit down on the aggregate concrete. You can look at this this picture here, and you'll see in the corner. I'll zoom in on it. There's this amillary sphere, as they call it. And in the 60s, it was damaged, so they took it out to like clean it and repair it. And then it never returned. It's quote disappeared, which I think means someone lost it, or someone was like, "Nah, this will look better in my backyard." Whatever, it's gone. This is some more of the that exposed gravel, and here's some stairs with some weeds. I don't know. It's a great park. I'd recommend it, but also if you didn't come to this park, that'd be cool too, because then I wouldn't see you, and I wouldn't have to talk. And this is on Sundays. They do drum circles up here, and they're like legendary. Like big names will come and show up, but then also it's just every Sunday. It's really cool, and you hear the drums going, and you're like, oh, it's Sunday because they're playing the drums at the park. It's lovely. This park is so cool. Great place, but don't go.